Hey there, you military dogs. We open with Ed recovering in hospital and getting caught up on what's happened at the 5th lab.
Well,
Somebody blew up the building and there's nothing left of it now but rubble.
Damn it!
Ross slaps some sense into him and Ed contacts Winry to help with his automail. They pass Al in the hospital, who is brooding in a darkened corner, contemplating the idea that he is nothing more than a fake. Winry arrives at Central and is greeted by Major Armstrong, who brings her to the hospital. When she arrives, she sees a beaten up Ed and tries to apologise, but things quickly do a 180.
I didn't do a good enough job on your automail last time.
It's not your fault. You can't blame yourself for this.
Well then, let's go ahead and get right down to business, shall we?
They notice Al sulking as he goes back to another darkened corner of the hospital. Lieutenant Colonel Hughes arrives to let Ed know that they won't be under guard for much longer, and he offers Winry a place to stay for the night, and then she gets to meet his family.
I'm 2. No, I'm 3.
Winry laments the boy's stoicism, and Hughes advises that in general men tend to let their actions speak for them. Ed continues to refuse this milk, accidentally upsetting Al, who finally lets loose his worries in front of everyone.
It's not like I asked for this body, brother!
Sorry.
Ed leaves and Winry lets loose on Al. We see a memory of Ed's guilt over what happened to Al as Winry explains, and Al, realising how stupid he's been, chases after Ed. On the roof, Ed challenges Al to a fight, and beats him for the first time. The boys reconcile, and Winry tells Hughes of the wisdom in talking sometimes.
Maybe you don't have to hear something out loud, but it sure is helpful sometimes.
We cut to Scar dreaming of a memory of Kimley, before waking to find he is in the care of his own people, who'd found him in the sores. As far as episodes go, this one was quite subdued in terms of action, instead focusing on character relationships, starting with the Elric's uncanny ability to draw people to them. When advised that Ed carries the rank of Major, it emphasises that he has power. Perhaps it's part of who he is, perhaps it's part of his innocence in adolescence, but Ed has no interest in disciplining Ross for slapping him. Instead, he shows a high level of introspection and emotional intelligence.
My punishment? For slapping you?
Huh? Nothing. I had it coming.
The other great thing about this episode is that we get to spend more time with Winry and learn a little bit more about her. Up until this point, Winry seems to be a bit of a gearhead that spends most of her time arguing with Ed. This isn't much different, except we see her concerns for the boys. Though the same age, she seems to take a parent role with them. This may stem from the loss of her own parents, but it's interesting to watch this play out. If you apply Eric Berne's ego states to their interactions, you can typically predict how the dialogue's going to play. Eric Berne was a psychologist that came up with the theory that there are 3 ego states: parent, adult and child, which we all use when changing our behaviour in order to achieve our needs. As you can see from the diagram, when interacting, our behaviour can be interpreted as the following: a controlling parent, a nurturing parent, an adult, a free child or an adaptive child. In this scene, we see Winry trying to get Ed to drink his milk, but she takes on the controlling parent.
You didn't drink your milk.
She's critical and setting standards that she expects him to follow. In response, Ed, as he often does in the show, becomes the free child, responding in a defensive manner.
Why should I? I hate it.
I also note that Winry tries to apologise to Ed for the missing screw in his automail, but seeing her upset, the others in the room look to Ed to comfort her. This creates an interesting dynamic. Once Winry thinks that she's in the clear from blame, she quickly returns to the controlling parent persona. As no one but Winry knows her mistake, she quickly shirks responsibility for the mistake that could have cost Ed his life. I also noticed that Ed mentions finding out the truth, which seems to crop up a lot. Marco talked about the truth within the truth, and Ed's run-in with the truth is still yet to play out. In the last part of the episode, Scar refers to his tattoo as a gift. We can see there is a scar along the top telling us there is more to it. No doubt his dreams of Kimley are related.